What if the body you see in the mirror is not the full boundary of you? Right now, your heart is broadcasting a measurable electrical field that extends beyond your skin. Your brain is producing waves of electromagnetic activity that science can detect and map. Your nervous system is firing signals faster than conscious thought, and you can't see any of it. Your body is already surrounded by invisible forces, and most people never stop to ask what else might be hidden from ordinary sight. By the end of this video, you'll understand 5 things: why the visible body is only part of the story, how the body's invisible electromagnetic reality invites a deeper question about consciousness, why ancient traditions from every culture point toward the same interior mystery, how meditation can shift the way you experience your own identity, and how to approach these practices safely, grounded, and without fear. Stay with me. From the moment we're born, we're trained to identify with what we can see: your face in a photograph, your name on a document, your age, your weight, your reflection. The body becomes the self becomes the body. And everything invisible, every feeling that lives beneath language, every awareness that watches your thoughts without being a thought, gets quietly ignored. Modern life reinforces this. We're measured by appearance. We're judged by what's visible. We're sold products for the body, solutions for the body, anxieties about the body. And yet, something in you is reading these words. Something is watching. Something notices when you're afraid, when you're at peace, when a piece of music suddenly makes the room feel larger. That something is not a bone, or a muscle, or a nerve. This is not mysticism. This is the oldest question in philosophy. Who is aware of being aware? And why doesn't the answer feel like it fits inside a skull? But before we go further, we need to ground this in something real. Science is very clear about this much. The human body is not electrically silent. Your heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in the body. It's measurable several feet away from the chest. Cardiologists use this field to diagnose heart conditions using a device called an electrocardiogram. The brain produces electrical activity that can be recorded across the scalp using an electroencephalogram. The nervous system transmits signals through bioelectric impulses that travel the entire body. This is not speculation. This is first-year biology. Now, does this prove the soul? No. Does it prove astral projection, chakras, or spirit bodies? No. Science does not make those claims. But here is the question worth sitting with. If the body is already surrounded by invisible forces that cannot be seen with the naked eye, fields that are real, measurable, and extend beyond the skin, what else about human existence might be hidden from ordinary perception? This does not prove what some people want it to prove, but it does open a door. Science describes the electromagnetic field as biological. Many spiritual traditions look at the same invisible boundary and describe something deeper. Not contradiction, just different maps of the same mystery. And this is where the ancient memory of humanity becomes impossible to dismiss. In ancient Egypt, the Ka was described as a spiritual double, an invisible twin of the physical form that survived the death of the body. In Hindu philosophy, Prana is the life force that animates the visible form. The subtle body is said to exist alongside the physical body as a more refined layer of self. In Chinese medicine and Taoist philosophy, Qi is the invisible vital energy that flows through the body through channels called meridians. In ancient Greek philosophy, Pneuma was the breath spirit that animated all living things. Plotinus, the Neoplatonist philosopher of the 3rd century, wrote of the soul's inward ascent, a turning of awareness away from the outer world and toward the luminous interior. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali describe meditation as the progressive stilling of the mind's fluctuations. When the mind becomes still, what remains is pure awareness, not identified with thought, not identified with the body. Buddhist traditions speak of anatta, the teaching that what we call the self is not a fixed, permanent object. Awareness itself is boundless, flowing, and not identical to any physical form. The Christian desert fathers of the 3rd and 4th centuries practiced what they called hesychia, inner stillness. Contemplative prayer was not about speaking to God. It was about becoming quiet enough to listen. The Sufi tradition within Islam describes fana, the dissolution of the ego self in divine presence. Not the destruction of the person, but the disappearance of the illusion of separation. Across indigenous and shamanic traditions worldwide, the spirit is understood as something that can journey, expand, and return. Not as metaphor, as lived experience. Different languages, different symbols, the same interior question. Who are you when the noise stops? Now here is where meditation changes everything. Meditation is not a religious belief. It is a practice of attention. At its core, meditation is simply the act of observing your own awareness, noticing what arises in the mind without being consumed by it. When practiced consistently, something interesting happens. The identification with thought loosens. The sense of self begins to feel less fixed, less bounded, less dependent on the body's sensations or the mind's commentary. This is not spiritual fantasy. Decades of research have shown that meditation reduces cortisol levels, changes the structure and activity of the brain, improves emotional regulation, and decreases the frequency of the default mode network, the mental region most associated with self-referential thought and rumination. But beyond the neuroscience, and this is important, many practitioners describe something that does not appear cleanly in brain scans: a sense of spaciousness, a feeling of awareness that is larger than the body, a quietness that does not feel like absence, it feels like presence. Whether this is a neurological phenomenon or something more is not a question science has fully answered. What it is, reliably, repeatedly, across cultures and centuries, is available. Here are 3 practices. Approach each one with patience. There is nothing to force. There is only something to allow. Technique 1. Mantra meditation. This practice is rooted in the Vedic tradition and forms the basis of transcendental meditation and many related lineages. Find a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes. Take 3 slow breaths. Then begin to silently repeat a single sound or phrase, not spoken aloud, not forced, but allowed to arise gently in the mind. You may use a neutral sound like so hum, meaning I am that in Sanskrit, or simply peace, or your own chosen word. When the mind wanders, and it will, gently return to the mantra. Do not fight distraction. Do not judge the wandering. Simply return. Practice for 15 to 20 minutes. Over time, the mantra begins to quiet itself, and in that quieting, something underneath it becomes more apparent. I am safe in stillness. Technique 2. Breath-focused stillness. This is one of the simplest and most powerful practices in any tradition. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Place your hands on your lap or your knees. Begin to observe the breath. Not control it, not change it. Just notice. The rise and fall of the chest, the sensation at the nostrils, the brief pause between inhale and exhale. When thoughts arise, acknowledge them without attachment. Imagine each thought as a cloud moving across an open sky. The sky does not chase the cloud, it simply remains. You are not the cloud, you are the sky. Practice this for 10 to 20 minutes. As the body relaxes and the breath slows, the boundary between inside and outside may begin to feel less solid. This is natural. This is the point. I allow my awareness to expand without fear. Technique 3. Body scan awareness. Lie down on a comfortable surface, or sit upright if you prefer. Close your eyes and take 5 slow breaths. Begin to direct your attention slowly through the body, starting at the crown of the head and moving down through the face, jaw, neck, shoulders, chest, arms, hands, belly, lower back, hips, legs, and feet. Do not try to relax each area, simply observe it. Then, and this is the deeper step, turn your attention to the space just beyond the skin. Not imagining anything, simply resting awareness at the body's edge. Many practitioners report that at this boundary, something shifts. The sense of self becomes less located, less solid. I observe the body with compassion. It is a vessel. It is not the whole of me. And this is the part most people misunderstand about altered states. Sound bowls produce sustained tones that many practitioners find helpful for quieting mental chatter. Tibetan singing bowls and crystal bowls both work. Even a simple sustained tone through headphones can help. Binaural beats, audio frequencies that differ slightly between the left and right ear, have been studied for their potential to shift brainwave states. Theta frequencies, between 4 and 8 Hz, are associated with deep meditation and hypnagogic states. These are not magic. They are tools. Candles provide soft, variable light that calms the visual system without demanding attention. Incense has been used in sacred practice for thousands of years. Frankincense, sandalwood, copal, and sage among the most historically documented. Crystals and stones carry no scientific claim to healing, but as symbolic grounding objects, they serve a function. They remind the practitioner of intention. A journal kept nearby matters. Not to record everything immediately, but to capture what arises afterward, before the ordinary mind closes back in. Herbal teas such as chamomile, lavender, peppermint, or valerian may support relaxation in a gentle, legal, and non-intoxicating way. Always research sensitivities and consult a professional if needed. I am open to mystery, but grounded in peace. For thousands of years, before the word meditation existed, human beings entered altered states of awareness through ceremony, fasting, darkness, drumming, chanting, breathwork, and sacred plants. Shamanic traditions across Siberia, the Americas, Africa, and Southeast Asia describe a practitioner, often called a shaman, who enters a trance state to access non-ordinary realms of awareness. These are not drug stories. Many shamanic traditions involve no substances whatsoever. The altered state is reached through sustained drumming, isolation, sleep deprivation, fasting, cold, or rhythmic movement. Where plants are involved, the context is crucial. Indigenous and ceremonial uses of plants like ayahuasca in the Amazon basin, psilocybin mushrooms in Mesoamerican traditions, peyote in North American indigenous ceremony, and sacred tobacco in multiple traditions are deeply embedded in cultural lineage, ritual structure, trained practitioners, and community context. This must be said clearly. These substances are controlled in many countries. They carry real psychological risk. They are not recreational. They are not safe without proper setting, and guidance. Reports of psychosis, trauma, and lasting psychological harm exist alongside reports of healing. Medical screening, psychological history, and trained ceremony leadership are not optional. They are essential. The research into psilocybin and MDMA for therapeutic contexts is ongoing and early. DMT is a naturally occurring molecule that has been the subject of significant attention in recent decades. What altered states of awareness mean remains philosophically and scientifically open. We are not recommending any of these substances. We are acknowledging that human beings have long sought expanded states of awareness, and that this seeking is as old as our species. The safest doorway remains breath, stillness, and time. And this is why preparation matters more than the experience itself. Deep meditation can be surprising. This needs to be said honestly. Most people who meditate experience simple calm, reduced stress, and a quieter mind. This is the common experience, and it is genuinely valuable. But some practitioners, particularly those who meditate consistently and deeply over time, report experiences that challenge their ordinary sense of identity. A feeling that the self is larger than the body, a sense of boundaries dissolving, a moment where the witness and the witnessed seem to merge. Some describe bliss, some describe disorientation. None of this is dangerous if approached with grounding and equanimity. But if a person approaches meditation with a rigid, fear-based identity, if they completely reject the possibility of expanded awareness and then unexpectedly experience it, the surprise can be destabilizing. The preparation is this: go slowly. Do not force depth. Do not chase experiences. Do not compare your practice to descriptions online. Do not practice in a state of emotional crisis without professional support. After any deep session, ground yourself. Stand on the floor, drink water, walk outside, touch something solid. Name 5 things you can see. Return to the body gently, not urgently. I do not force the experience. I allow awareness to reveal itself. And if anything arises that feels overwhelming, stop, breathe, ground. Speak to someone you trust. Regardless of whether expanded awareness is real, biological, or both, meditation gives measurable, reliable, and deeply practical gifts. Stress is reduced. The cortisol response to ordinary stressors becomes less automatic. The nervous system learns to return to calm more quickly. Emotional regulation improves. The space between stimulus and response grows wider. Attention deepens. Compassion increases. Meditators consistently report a greater capacity for empathy, not as a spiritual achievement, but as a natural byproduct of turning attention inward with gentleness. The relationship with fear changes, not because fear disappears, but because the awareness that observes fear begins to feel more stable than the fear itself. And perhaps most quietly, the identification with thought loosens. Most people believe they are their thoughts. Meditation reveals that you are the one who notices thoughts. That noticing is older, quieter, and far more spacious than any individual thought. Prepare your space now. Turn off your phone. Dim the lights or light a candle. Sit or lie comfortably. Set a gentle timer for 15 or 20 minutes. Close your eyes. Take 3 slow breaths. Let each exhale be longer than the inhale. Notice the weight of the body against the surface beneath you. Notice the rise and fall of the chest. Notice the temperature of the air. Now ask yourself, not with words, but with attention, who is noticing? Don't answer, just rest in the question. Let the mind settle like sediment in water that has finally stopped moving. You are not trying to escape the body. You are learning to see it clearly, as a vessel, a temple, a field, a doorway. The body is real, it is sacred, and it may not be the whole of you. Whatever arises, observe it with compassion. Whatever quiets, receive it with gratitude. And when the timer sounds, return gently. Open your eyes slowly. Place your hands on your heart. Write 1 word in your journal, whatever came. You started this video believing, perhaps, that the body was the boundary. Maybe it still is. Maybe that belief serves you. But maybe, just maybe, the question has shifted slightly. Maybe you are a little more curious about the silence than you were before. That curiosity is the practice. That openness is enough. If you've ever felt your awareness expand in stillness, in meditation, in grief, in wonder, in the moment before sleep, share it below, respectfully, with no need to convince anyone. Or simply write, I am more than the body. Stay tuned in to Cosmic Signal No Noise. We go deeper every time. If this transmission reached you, it was meant to. You didn't find this channel by accident. Nothing on your path is. If something in this video shifted something in you, Hit that like button. Not for us, for the algorithm to carry this signal further, to the next person who needs to hear it. Subscribe to Cosmic Signal No Noise, because we are just getting started. Every video goes deeper. Every transmission unlocks something new. Cosmic downloads, ancient truth, no noise. We'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned in.